Watford have had 12 managers since 2019. Let me repeat that for you. Watford have had 12 managers since 2019. That is an average of 2 managers a year. And they've brought back another manager again, Javi Gracia. All the managers they've had in the 5 years, I can't even fit them on this graphic, and that's 9 already. It's 18 in the last 10 years. But Pozo's weird little kink for sacking managers, you know, at this point, he must actually be laundering money. He gets a weird little kick out of sacking these managers and paying them out. He doesn't stop there, right? So Gracia coming back in for his second spell. You know, he got on to the FA Cup final last time. You know, did really well in the Premier League, this, that, the other. It's not the weirdest part. The weirdest part is that this was the statement, not only for Gracia coming in, but it was also the statement for them getting rid of the previous manager as well. This guy, he has no bounds. Pezzolano wasn't exactly a mug either. He'd won promotion with 2 of his previous sides. Watford being the club they are, they'd want promotion back into the Premier League. But it doesn't stop there. The man was unbeaten in his last 3 games. When was the last time you saw a manager sacked when he was unbeaten in his last 3? He was sacked after winning his last league game. Pozo is just such a weird character. And listen, I know the situation with this was apparently he'd upset some of the young players. Apparently he wasn't particularly likeable across the ground. But when you look at all those managers they've had across the years, there's no way all of them with this sort of character. Like, where does it stop? It's more of a case of where do you draw the line as well, because for a man who actually had a pretty decent record at Watford, considering the situation at the time, going in with all those players they'd signed in the summer, coming off the back of Cleverley being there as well. You know, he said that he believed that Premier League promotion was, you know, it was in reach, but at the same time, the guy wasn't even given the time to try and achieve that, and it never happens at Watford. Watford fans, are you happy with this? Are you happy to have Gracia back at the club? I know he was fantastic in that first spell there, you know, the FA Cup final, you're fantastic in the Prem, this, that, the other, but he's not managed for about 2 years. So does that not worry you a little bit? Does that not, you know, are you done with the Pozo lot at this point, or you're actually quite enjoying this constant merry-go-round? Because I can't imagine you are. It does make you wonder why these managers keep taking those jobs there. You know, it's not a great look on the CV getting sacked, but it probably is a really nice payout. One thing I will say, Gracia, don't buy a house there yet, mate. I feel like the real reason that Gracia's back is because they're running out of managers. You know, Sanchez, Flores went back, now Gracia as well. I can totally see Cleverley going in there at the end of the season as well. You know, he was sacked. A lot of fans weren't happy with that. They were saying he was getting the best out of the team, but that's just how it is at Watford.